In this part two, I'd like to address the South Park issue. I have a joke for you. The West self censored the South Park issue. Dude, you nearly killed me when you said that. This is like saying that you donated money to someone holding a gun to your head. The Viacom didn't censor South Park just because they felt like, maybe we're gonna get in trouble. No, they censored after they had death threats. And they figured, well, let's get rid of the death threats by censoring. And the big problem with that is by censoring, they've destroyed a message of equality that is very important. Matt Stone and Trey Parker in South Park held a specific ideology, which is that everybody is equal enough to be made fun of equally. And that being made fun of, while it may be irreverent at times, is never intended to generate murder. It is intended to generate laughter, to derision, to de-dramatize things through comedy. And in that respect, Viacom was the greatest terrorist in that it killed that message. But they did get death threats. So let's not kid ourselves about that. But I enjoyed the idea of making fun of everyone equally, for no one is holier than thou. You know what I mean? So let's look at what benefit can come from the non censoring. Let's say, for example, Viacom didn't censor. Let's say, for example, Viacom decided that all of its comedy shows, or all its parent channels, all its newscasts, everybody would start showing the images of the depictions of Muhammad. What do you think would have happened then? Do you think it would have been as easy to target everybody, the corporate media of the United States, or target two guys, two cartoonists? If when the Muhammad caricatures came out, if every media throughout the world had reproduced them, how likely would it have been that Muslims would have turned around and said, all right, we're going to execute every media in the world? And it is possible for the media in the entire world to talk about one thing. We see it every time there's a natural disaster. So there's no reason why a topic like that couldn't be picked up. But they bow to fear. They censor because of fear. And by censoring, they're cutting off the dialogue. I think that in one way, there's a certain diluting aspect. It's easy to point the fingers at a Theo Van Gogh or a Salman Rushdie and say, let's get that guy. But if an entire population echoes those feelings or echoes this message, you have to consider it. Sure, you might still have your extremist elements that will want to go to war and go to jihad, but they'll always want to go to jihad anyways. So it doesn't really matter what you do. But the moderates, the ones that are open-minded, the ones that apparently consider things, how likely is it that he would be considering the message? And I don't like to use that expression, but to a certain extent be forced to reckon with the fact that, hey, you know, some people will disagree with you and you have to respect that. Another point is to forcing the dialogue within the media and exposing the agents of intolerance. One of the personal beefs that I have with Islam is the concept of taqiyya and dawah. The concept that your religion encourages you to lie if you consider that it's gonna make someone convert, or that if you feel that it's gonna protect you or protect your faith, or such concepts put a real damn cloth on a message, because it instills a doubt that on the authenticity of the message. So whenever I hear speakers, prominent speakers of Islam, come to the Western media and use a different dialogue, I'm constantly reminded that these people's feet aren't put to the fire. They are treated as moderates when in fact they are agents of intolerance. And that does not help our case. I'm a strong believer that a rational Muslim, a moderate Muslim that understands the concept of freedom of religion and freedom of expression and identifies himself as such could be a beneficial force, more beneficial than those who come and say, no, Islam is a religion of peace to the West, and turn around and tell Islamic countries that the Wests are against them. So that's basically all I wanted to cover. I'm not going to take up any much more of your time, but hopefully I've presented you with what I think are the desired ends of posing such acts as drawing Muhammad or burning a Quran. And hey, by all means, if you want to leave comments and discuss it further, I'm always here, buds. So this is Malskin Studio saying, take her easy. I'll see you later.